Head coach Matt Nagy and general manager Ryan Pace have been fired from the Chicago Bears. What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bears news update videos, which I'll be giving to you guys this entire offseason. So if you guys want more Bears offseason content from me, subscribe to this channel. And guys, this is probably going to be one of the most important offseasons now in the history of the Chicago Bears, because the Bears have made massive changes in the front office and also at the head coaching position. Both Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are gone. Both of them will no longer be a part of the Chicago Bears, and the Bears now will need a new general manager and a new head coach to go along with them. I think most people saw the Matt Nagy firing coming because he's been here for 4 years and the Bears have regressed every single year under him. Okay, the offense has looked bad the majority of his career coaching in Chicago. It seems like the players were not really buying into his leadership anymore, especially in the last year, right? Like the Bears had a horrible record this year, 6-11. So Matt Nagy's firing, I'm pretty sure all of us was certain about. We weren't certain though about Ryan Pace, only because the McCaskies loved Ryan Pace. Okay, according to reports, they treated him like a son. They loved Ryan Pace and what he was doing for the organization. So I'm kind of surprised that they had the guts to fire Ryan Pace. But honestly, guys, I think that was the right move, right? Because first of all, talking about Ryan Pace, man, Ryan Pace, the general manager, has been here for 7 years now, okay? Over 7 years. He was hired in 2014, right after Phil Emery. His total record in Chicago was 48-65, but most importantly, 0 playoff wins. There were some good parts still about the Ryan Pace era, like for example, his drafting, especially in the later rounds, was fantastic. Practically every single year he's been here, right? Like he found studs in the 4th, 5th, 6th round pretty much every single year. And, especially the 2021 draft, guys, like that was probably his best work as a drafter, as a draft picker. But unfortunately, everything before that caught up to him, okay? All those misses in the 1st and 2nd round caught up to him, and the misses in free agency as well caught up to him. The lack of cap space caught up to him, and now it was time to make the change, okay? The Bears' talent on the roster right now simply isn't good enough to compete with some of the better teams in the NFL, and for the majority of Ryan Pace's career in Chicago, it hasn't been, okay? We've lost to the better teams during his time in Chicago, aside from 2018, which was only 1 year, and even in that year, we didn't win a single playoff game. So again, I'll be thankful that Ryan Pace gave us Justin Fields. I mean, that's one of the best picks in Bears history still, in my opinion, because this kid has a ton of potential. I think he's going to be great in the future with more weapons around him, with a better coach to utilize his talents. But overall, the Ryan Pace era wasn't good enough, okay? He was unable to build a great offense here in Chicago. He was able to build a great defense multiple years, but a great defense doesn't get you as far as a great offense does in the NFL. And his overall roster building lacked focus, lacked, the talent on it. So I think it was time to make the change, guys. I wish him well. He'll probably get a job somewhere else in a lesser role, but it was time for him to move on from the Bears, because 7 years, 0 playoff wins, that is far too long, and change was needed. And also, if you wanted to fire Matt Nagy, you kind of had to fire Ryan Pace as well, guys, because if you let Ryan Pace pick his 3rd head coach, that would severely limit the pool of head coaches available to us, right? Like, because who would want to be hired by a general manager that would be fired possibly in the next year, because Pace would still be on the hot seat, guys. So the entire organizational structure would be such a chaotic mess if you kept Pace but fired Nagy. So I'm glad they decided to fire both. But talking about Matt Nagy then, guys, I already went over this in a video, a couple of days ago that I released. So if you want to get my full thoughts of the Matt Nagy era, go back to that video. I'll link it down below. But pretty much, guys, it was a failure, okay? He was hired here to be an offensive-minded head coach, a guy that could turn our offense around, an offense in Chicago that historically has been so bad throughout all of our lifetimes, okay? The Bears have practically never had a great, consistent offense, great quarterback play, great, offensive line play, stuff like that. And Matt Nagy was not able to get that out of his guys. It started out pretty well in 2018. Okay, he won Coach of the Year, 12-4 season, went to the playoffs, unfortunately lost there. But 2018 was a lot of fun, guys. Okay, some of the most fun I've had being a Bears fan. So I will be thankful for 2018, even though the success from 2018 mainly came from the defense, the culture that he built there, the club dub, all the trick plays. It was so much fun back then, and I had so much hope back then, but unfortunately, things were never the same after that, guys. We regressed every single year. Our offense got worse every single year, and his mishandling of Justin Fields was the final straw. Okay, one of the most prized quarterback prospects in Bears history. He was unable to get anything really out of Justin Fields. Okay, there were some pretty good games, but for the majority, it was not a good rookie season, partly because the scheming around him was so damn bad. Every single quarterback in the Matt Nagy system looked like a bad quarterback, partly because the system itself is broken and it never really was anything special. Again, I wish him well. I don't hate him as a person nearly as much as a lot of Bears fans do. Like, I think he's actually a nice guy, nice person overall, but he's not a good coach, guys. He's not a good coach. He's not a good offensive mind in this league, and I'm happy he's moving on because the Bears desperately needed that change. So there you have it, guys. I mean, Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, both of them gone. We're not sure about Ted Phillips yet, okay? The McCaskies actually have a press conference at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Central, I believe. I'll have to check the time on that, but they'll be announcing the future of this team. And according to the media, Ted Phillips was not part of that press conference release. So maybe they're going to fire Ted Phillips too. I might have another video coming out to you guys in the next couple hours if Ted Phillips has gone too, which would be absolutely insane. That would be the best possible thing to happen to the Chicago Bears. I doubt they do it, but maybe there's a tiny chance it happens. But regardless, man, the house cleaning you guys wanted, that I wanted to, it's finally taking place. Okay, change is going to happen in Chicago, and I sincerely hope and pray we finally get it right this time, because I'm telling you guys right now, man, Justin Fields is one of the most special quarterback talents we have had in my life watching the Bears. And if we get the right people around him, the Chicago Bears are going to be one of the most exciting teams this decade. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think about these firings? Are you happy? Are you sad? I don't think anybody's going to be sad about these. I hope not. But let me know your thoughts down below. And let me know who you want the Bears to hire, as the next head coach, as the next GM. I'm sure most of you guys don't know many GM candidates, but I might have a video coming out to you guys about that in the coming weeks. I mean, I'm sure the Bears are going to make their hire relatively soon, because you have to get a GM in here fast. Otherwise, who's going to hire the head coach? Okay, you need a general manager to hire the head coach. So presumably the general manager hire will be coming pretty soon, within the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that, guys. But what a day, man. I hope more changes coming. I hope Ted Phillips is gone. But as always, bear down.